So welcome to the first episode of the MRL podcast, and our guest is Morgan. And introduce yourself. Who are you?
Hi, I'm Morgan. Most people from MRL probably know me as the owner, and if you don't know me, I own Motorsport Fanatics, a very alive Instagram page, definitely alive. Anyway, yeah, this league is very important to me, and I thought, yeah, maybe you guys can get to know me today.
Okay, so I have some questions from the MRL members. So this is a three-part question. This is pretty long. So first is what made you start sim racing?
Um, I don't know. I've always loved racing games and stuff, so I saw a league advertising on Instagram, and I thought I should just, join it, see what it's like, and I really enjoyed it. That league kind of died quite quickly, and then I joined another one, and I kind of got hooked. And then a year and a half later, I started MRL. So yeah.
Yep. And the next part of that question is what made you develop MRL to what it is?
Well, I think initially I started it because there wasn't really any GT Sport leagues at the time that excited me as much, you know, like. And also, I had these visions, of what we're seeing right now with the league, which has been a quite popular idea, which is the multi-class system. And yeah, I'm really glad that I managed to sort of maybe kind of make that quite a popular thing. Yeah.
Yes, so the final part is have you ever thought about stopping with MRL?
At times, yeah, it's been quite stressful. It's not been the smoothest league to run. That's a lot of it's down to my own error. A lot of it, obviously, down to some controversial stuff that's happened, which we won't talk
Yep,
about today.
that
But
would be 3 hour long.
but I think it's worth it in the long run. There is a lot of positives to take from it. It's very
Yep,
exciting.
more
Yeah.
positives than negatives from
Yeah,
me.
definitely.
So, a bit of a lighter question now. If you had to go on an island with one MRL member, who would you take to rescue yourself from there?
Good question. That is a very good question. I don't want to offend anyone,
Because
but
you have to think like who could like build resources in there, like who could build you a boat and stuff.
I mean, in terms of the one of the most mature, serious members of MRL is definitely Connor. And I feel like he'd probably be the person who I know could do that, but like, if you want to have a bit of fun as well, not that Connor isn't fun. Connor is very fun. I think I'd pick you, to be honest, because we
Oh,
get along quite well.
well,
Um,
I'd be
Although with your current
pleased
health
to do
condition, it wouldn't be the best.
that. Yeah, let's not talk about that. uh, so uh, Jono Milsey asks favorite milk.
Favorite milk?
Yep.
Do you mean brand or what?
Just like fat
Let's say
percentage,
type.
brand.
Okay, so I'm quite partial to animals. I like animals, not to eat. So if I had to choose one, it'd probably be like almond milk or soy milk. I've never really had soy milk, so probably almond milk. But I also, when I'm having animal milk, semi-skimmed is the best.
Okay.
Or chocolate milk. Chocolate milk.
With
You gotta
chocolate
remember
milk
chocolate
counts.
milk.
It counts. It's a good answer. I
Yeah.
would have thought of that. And next one would be a pretty hard question for me, but favorite MRL season of all time?
Four, definitely.
Oh,
It was my
really?
best. It was my best season on record. I mean, like season two was quite good in a sense,
Season 2 holds a
but
special place in my heart.
season four was definitely. It was special because it was probably my best season. I got two wins. Obviously, one of them was for a Grand
Yes.
Prix, so I didn't really deserve that win. But the last win that race at Le Mans was very special. So yeah, that season holds a very deep place in my heart.
Yes, that was a banger though, like I can't argue with that. But
Yeah.
this is a well not very tough question I think, but best driver in the league so far. ever.
There's probably 4 people I'd attribute that to.
Yeah, I'd narrow it
It's
down to two at the end.
I think for me it's got to be between Junior, Jimmy, Connor, and Ricky. Um,
Yes, definitely.
you could there's definitely a lot of people who are quite close to that level, but consistently they've been the ones that have been fighting for championships and stuff. And obviously Jimmy's no longer really in the league, which is a shame, but there's reasons for that, and we don't need to talk about that today. But
But he's
I
still a
think
very good driver. That doesn't change anything, and we
yeah,
know that.
but also like we're seeing a lot of people rise up through the pace. I mean,
Yes,
last season you could argue Vince was quite up there as well. I mean,
yeah.
maybe not as
Didn't he
consistent.
take 2 or 3 wins?
He took one win, but he was
Oh,
on the podium for 3 or 4 consecutive
yeah,
races. But like Stefan's definitely fighting up there.
yeah.
Matthew, he had an impressive race on
Matthew improved a
Friday.
lot, I think.
Yeah, he's learned from some of the best drivers. He's learned from Jimmy and Connor, his
Yes.
teammate last season. Um,
So any of those could really be is your answer.
yeah, and when we reveal the plans for next season, I think it's gonna be a very close battle between a few drivers.
Yep.
Obviously, we've heard the announcement just now as we're recording this that Connor's officially leaving as a driver, so
Yeah.
he is not going to be in the title fight for the first time in MRL. That's going to be interesting to see who can steal his place in that.
Also, not just from the top of my head now, who do you bet for the title fights next season? Without
That's tough.
spoiling the class, though.
Yeah, the classes we yeah, that doesn't matter. I think if we had everyone in the same class, I think it would be Ricky, Stefan, Matthew, Junior definitely would be up there. It
Yeah.
would be a tight fight. Maybe you're quite
Well,
strong.
mm,
If Diben's still there next season, he might be.
I hope
Uh,
he's.
and Sam, if he's racing next season as well, he's
Yeah.
definitely going to be up.
Also, interesting question. A track that is not in GT Sport but you'd like to race in MRL.
Oh, there's a few. I think I'll give you my top three.
Okay.
So number one is Silverstone.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's a pretty good one.
Number two is Bahrain, and number three is probably Sebring, and then there's like Kyalami and Mugello, which are a couple sort of side tracks for
Kyalami
me.
is good. I like Kyalami.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's kinda the best sim racing memory you've ever had?
That's tough. I've got a few. It's gonna be a race win. My first league race win was a bit of a rubbish one, really, because everyone else DNF'd other than one person. So, I
Oh,
mean,
really?
I guess it's pretty impressive that of all the people to survive, it was me. But,
That's an achievement, you know?
but I think probably my win at Le Mans this last season it was very special to win at my favorite track. And I probably shouldn't have won it. Ricky was so strong all race, and I had made a mistake in the beginning of the race, so to manage to bounce back from that spin and take it, I was over the moon with that. And if I hadn't, maybe it would have been a more superb victory. But I'm glad I won it how I did, and I felt so sorry for Ricky that day.
Yes, I remember. But now a more personal question. What like other hobbies do you have? What do you do like outside sim racing? And what do you want to study?
Good questions. Very good questions. Um, I do a bit of photography every now and then. Obviously, not so much at the moment because it's quite cold.
Yeah.
but I do cycling. Um, but yeah, it's a bit cold, and I haven't got any winter gear yet. I also play guitar, not very
Hmm.
well, but I play the guitar.
But you have
Yeah.
improved though.
Hmm? Yeah,
You.
yeah, definitely improved.
Yeah.
Um, and in terms of studying, I'm hoping to study aerospace engineering at university. So yeah, hopefully my dreams of doing that can be
That is very
achieved.
big brain.
Yeah.
So, this is an interesting one. I want to hear this really as well. Within the next year or 2 years, with of course now the new PS5 and Xbox coming out and PCs getting more popular, where's the league gonna go to when this era kind of officially ends?
It's a good question. I
And
mean,
how
I'm not
long
going
is
to have
it
the
gonna
money.
stay on PS4?
It's going to be on the PS4 for a while because I'm not going to have the money to buy a PS5 for a long time.
Yes.
So we will still have very much have it on the PS4 for a while. And obviously, like if GT Sport is available on PS5 and people can play with PS4 players on there, then I don't see too much of a problem with keeping the game going. But I'm not sure about that because obviously I haven't really looked into it much.
Yeah, and I think there's not many updates coming in the near future though the GT Sport as
Yeah,
well,
so
so
it's
that's
just, is it worth paying what 400, 500 quid
yeah.
just to upgrade the league a bit, basically?
And
Um,
of course not like tier 2 included, not everyone is like able to do that.
yeah, exactly.
And if we would run a PC side, then that would most likely be later as well, but
Yeah,
not in the near future, I think.
no, there isn't even plans for that at the moment. So um,
Yep, we haven't even talked about it.
you're just trying to force it through.
Another lighter question: favorite meal?
Favorite meal?
Yes.
That's that's a tricky one. There's a lot of different meals I like. Why do you pin me on this? Um, I like fajitas. Fajitas are probably one of my favorites. I also like curry. Curry and fajitas. They're my two favorites.
Okay, good answer. Mine is quesadilla. So,
So just fancy fajitas.
okay, I got a music question. I know your favorite artist is probably Hayley Williams, but if Paramore and Hayley Williams doesn't exist, what kind of
What?
music do you listen to otherwise?
Rock. I quite like Haim at the
Stone.
moment. I don't know if you know who Haim are, but they're like they just won a Grammy or something for best rock performance. So they're not
Okay,
too bad.
okay.
Um, quite like Nirvana as well. Kurt Cobain's quite
Yeah, that's
influential person.
one of my favorites as well.
Yeah. I'm not sure what else really. Because I've kind of forgotten what I listen to. um, I listen to a lot of sort of music from the 80s as well. Like,
Yeah. So, next question: what is your dream car? That realistic one and unrealistic one.
what do we class as realistic? Like under
That
70,000
no,
pounds?
that you like think you're able to get.
Right. I'm just gonna pretend that I can get a well-paying job real quick. Um, I
Well, you're an
if
aerospace engineer, so you know
okay.
that's confirmed.
Um, so I guess it would be something classic. I think like realistic would probably be like I don't know actually like My brain has stopped working. Um,
Take your time.
I will. Um, that's tough. Some sort of old, like, I guess kind of like an old sort of JDM car, maybe like, not the Mark IV Supra, the one before that, the one from the 80s.
Okay, okay.
Quite cool.
I like
Not the
that.
one from the 90s.
So,
And then dream car is the Ferrari Enzo.
okay, that's your dream car. Let's do GoFundMe for Morgan's dream car.
£4 million goal.
So, I have my final question we have ready, but we can talk about anything after that if you want. My final
Okay.
question that I have ready is where do you see MRL in a year, and what do you think has happened? How do you see the growth, and how do you see, what members are still driving and stuff like that? It's kind of hard to say, I know, but still.
It's very difficult. We don't know what direction the league will even go in a year's
Yeah.
time. I mean, the fact that the league survived a year it's honestly surprised me. Um, I would be lying to say I was expecting it to last as long, but I'm glad it has. Um, I guess in a year's time, maybe we will have done some sort of funky loop of doing some different cars for a while or something, maybe, and return to maybe a former format or something. But in terms
Okay.
of drivers, it's hard because people are progressing through life and there's these milestones that people will go through and they may not be able to commit to the league anymore and it's
Yeah.
tough to know. It could be a completely different driver lineup.
It's
I
tough to
mean,
know if I'm gonna be driving in a year. I don't even know that.
exactly. I mean, like, I'm the only person who has been driving in the league since season one. Like, I'm the only person who's done every single race, so it's it's
I've missed
tricky to know.
uh, 3 MRL races in my career, and 2 of them have been cancelled. Nürburgring and Tokyo, and then one I missed, like, for real.
Yeah, nice. Well, not nice, but nice.
Okay, so is there anything you want to add or talk about now? Do you want
I'm
to
going
ask me anything?
how you doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
Good. I'm fine.
Apart from the obvious,
Yeah.
I'm doing
It's
fine.
a joke.
Another question pops into my mind. Do you think in the near future MRL will expand to different games than GT Sport? Maybe Project Cars, maybe some rally games, or Assetto Corsa, anything.
Maybe there's a possibility that it might not. I mean, if Assetto Corsa Competizione had 3 online servers, we would definitely have a league going there. But
We're
we
broke as
can't.
fuck, so we can't.
Exactly. I don't have any money, so that would be a thing I'll be thinking about for a while. But it's all good. It's still good. And to be fair, I think a lot of leagues, maybe some of them do too many different leagues on too many different games. So it's good to have a focus on just this
Yes.
one thing because I mean I'm terrible at running one league, so I'm not
No,
going to be
you're
able to
not.
run
No, you're not.
five. So, one game is more than enough for me.
Yeah, the 2 tiers is enough, I think, already.
Yeah, 2 tiers too many.
Also, who do you think is gonna come up next from tier 2?
Good question. There's a lot of promising drivers. Um, I wouldn't be surprised if Just Mortal Vilas or however it's pronounced comes up soon. He had a strong first season last season, I think. Well, he started midway through the season as well, I think. So
Yep.
I think if he can keep his strong form going, I don't know. It's tricky because
Oh shit!
obviously.
I realized. Sorry, I interrupted. This
Oh
is
no.
gonna come out after next season is revealed. So like, after the tier 1 is gonna go group 3, what do you think the tier 2 is gonna happen? You know, what's the class?
Tier 2 will be the same as Tier 1. That's my standpoint. It's always going to be the same as Tier 1 now. We've moved away from babying them with the Group 4 cars. We're now putting them on a similar level so that they can have the necessary skills to compete. And we can also get a more direct comparison over the pace, because
That's a good idea, yes.
I feel like one of the biggest issues is we can't necessarily judge how quick they are
Yes.
in comparison, because the only comparison we've got is hot lap times on time trial, which is a completely different context. So, you know, the GT drivers now, we're going to be coming up to Saint Croix, and I believe they've already done a Saint Croix race possibly, and you know, we'll be able to compare some of those GT lap times with our lap times, and maybe the LMP2 lap times. I'm not sure about that. So it's exciting because we've got this more direct comparison. We can now see what these drivers are fully capable of compared to what our current batch of drivers in Tier 1 can do.
Yes.
So, yeah.
There has been some very strong drivers come up from Tier 2. Obviously, the main one being Junior, probably, I'd say.
Yeah. And Victor has definitely brought in this new. So he's been rising throughout the season. He's definitely been in quicker as well. So, yeah, and also like even Ollie, he had been in Tier 2 quite a while, but he's joined Ricky in Funny F1 Racing, and he had a very strong race. He beat his teammate, and if I'm being honest, I don't think anyone would beat Ricky after his start of the season. He's been insane. And obviously on the back of a very strong season last season. Yeah.
Next question. What do you think is the top 3 of the next round in Kyoto in GT and LMP?
That's a good question. I'm not really sure. I mean,
normal qualifying is gonna mix it up a bit.
Yeah, you must have to have a chance. You've got the best car for the track.
Well,
I've heard Thaiben is very strong there.
Yep, but also with what's happening right now, I haven't been able to drive a single lap, so
yeah,
that might affect it sadly.
Yeah, you might have to do a pad stint on Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tricky to know. It's a track we haven't been to since season 2.
Yeah, and it's reverse of that.
Yeah, exactly. It's reverse. It's difficult, you know. But it's anyone's race as per usual. I mean, this might be I haven't practiced much yet. It could be a race for Audi. I mean, the Audi is the quick car on a circuit where you don't have to do too much hard braking and hard accelerating. But whether me and Vince can get it up there is another question. I'm not confident in our ability this season. Some screw has fallen loose since last season, and we just had a big dip in form.
I feel like I've decreased in performance for some reason. I don't know.
It could just be getting used to that car again, though.
Yeah, but it's already into the season. But yeah, I if I get an episode, I'm gonna talk about myself there. But Yes, I've been very confident in Taiben recently, and now he's said he feels very good at Kyoto, so I hope he gets a good result.
Yeah, I think he's definitely one to watch.
Yeah. Also, Sam and Junior definitely.
Yeah, yeah,
And
obviously.
Tissot, let's not underestimate though.
Yeah.
And Victor has the
Also,
Victor had a really good strategy last season, so a race, not season. So it could be like anyone on the podiums, to be honest.
yeah, I 100% agree.
Okay, so that's all I have to say. Do you have anything to say now?
Good question. I don't think I do. I'm not a man of many words.
Bo.
Well, well, I don't know. Well, no, I'm not really sure. Um, I think it's exciting. It's gonna be. I'm so excited. Please clip that out. I just can't hide. Or no. But yeah, just thanks a lot
So,
for
uh,
the support.
there's a question. What do you want to ask Vince for the next episode? One thing.
One thing I want to ask Vince, um, who is the worst teammate you had out of all your teammates in the LMP1 and GTE era of MRL?
Okay, that's a good question. So I think we'll wrap it up here. We've been talking for like 40 minutes now.
5 minutes.
5 minutes. It's been like 40 minutes.
What
So
do you mean it's only been 5 minutes?
that's it, I think. So thank you for listening. This was pretty fun to try. And next week there's gonna be a different episode. I think this will come out on a Sunday, I think.
Sunday. So before the tier 2, there isn't a tier 2 race this weekend. Big brain.
Last words.
Yep. Cheese. Thanks.
Didn't
I like-
record LMAO.
Oh my god, please no. Tell me your log time. It's gonna make you wonder why you
I'm recording. That's gonna go in the beginning.
I don't consent to this.
Okay, let me start. I'm a cut here.